Welcome to The Edit with your host, Vivian Cole. Brought to you by Vogue Media Agency, the podcast where branding, visibility, and influence are curated with intention. Each week, we cut through the noise to explore strategy, storytelling, and what it really takes to build a brand that's seen, heard, and remembered.
Welcome to The Edit. I'm Vivian Cole. Today, we're editing reputation, specifically online reputation management, as a strategic discipline, not a reactive scramble. We're talking about reviews, search results, crisis response, and proactive credibility building. Because in the digital world, reputation is no longer passive. It is shaped every day, whether you are paying attention or not. Your reputation is often the first conversation people have with your brand, and you're not always in the room when it happens. Before someone visits your website, before they reach out, before they take you seriously, they search, they read reviews, they scan headlines, they look for patterns, and in seconds, they form an opinion about whether your brand is credible, trustworthy, and worth their time. Reputation management is not about controlling perception. It's about earning confidence consistently. One of the biggest misconceptions about online reputation is that it only matters when something goes wrong. In reality, the strongest reputations are built long before a challenge ever appears. Brands that wait until there is a problem to think about reputation are already behind. Reputation is cumulative. Every review, every article, every mention, every unanswered comment contributes to a larger story. That story lives in search results, social platforms, and public conversation, and it shapes how people feel about your brand before you ever speak. Let's start with reviews. Reviews are not just feedback, they are public trust signals. People trust other people more than they trust marketing, and reviews act as social proof that either reinforces or undermines your credibility. Strategic reputation management does not mean chasing perfect ratings. It means encouraging honest feedback, responding thoughtfully, and demonstrating accountability. A brand with only glowing reviews and no responses can feel distant. A brand that responds professionally, even to criticism, feels human and trustworthy. How you respond matters as much as what is said. Thoughtful responses show that you listen, that you care, and that you take responsibility seriously. Silence, on the other hand, often communicates indifference. Search results are another powerful layer of reputation. When someone searches your brand name, what appears on the first page matters. Search results are not neutral. They shape perception. Articles, profiles, outdated information, and even unrelated content can influence how credible your brand feels. Proactive reputation management involves shaping that landscape intentionally, publishing authoritative content, maintaining accurate profiles, updating outdated information, contributing to conversations that reflect your expertise and values. You cannot remove every unwanted result, but you can outweigh it with credibility. This is where content, PR, and reputation strategy intersect. Thought leadership, media placements, and consistent messaging help define what your brand is known for. Over time, that consistency pushes irrelevant or negative signals further down the search experience. Crisis response is where reputation management becomes most visible. Every brand, no matter how careful, will eventually face a challenge, a misunderstanding, a negative review, a public complaint, a moment that tests trust. What matters is not avoiding these moments entirely, but how you respond when they arise. Effective crisis response is calm, clear, and timely. Panic escalates situations. Silence fuels speculation. Over-defensiveness erodes trust. Strategic response acknowledges concerns, provides clarity where appropriate, and reinforces accountability without overexposure. A strong response does not mean oversharing. It means communicating responsibly. Brands with strong reputations respond from values, not emotion. They understand when to address an issue publicly and when to resolve it privately. They prioritize clarity over control. Crisis moments often reveal whether a brand has done the work beforehand. If your values are clear, your messaging consistent, and your credibility established, audiences are more likely to give you the benefit of the doubt. Reputation built over time creates resilience. Now let's talk about proactive credibility building, which is where reputation management truly becomes strategic. Proactive reputation management means consistently reinforcing trust before it's questioned. This includes publishing educational content, maintaining transparency, engaging thoughtfully with your audience, and ensuring your digital presence reflects your current standards. Credibility is reinforced through alignment. Your website should match your claims. Your messaging should match your behavior. Your public presence should reflect your values. When these elements align, trust strengthens naturally. Proactive credibility also means monitoring your digital footprint, knowing what's being said, where it's being said, and how often. Awareness allows you to respond intentionally instead of reactively. Strong brands don't obsess over reputation, but they respect it. They understand that trust is fragile and cumulative. They invest in clarity, consistency, and care. They recognize that reputation is not a marketing tactic. It's a leadership responsibility. Reputation management also extends to internal behavior. How you treat clients, partners, and communities eventually becomes public. Internal culture and external reputation are deeply connected. Brands that cut corners internally often face consequences externally. Integrity is visible. Here's your reflection moment. If someone searched your brand today, would what they find reinforce trust or raise questions? Would reviews, content, and search results tell a coherent story about who you are and how you operate? If the answer feels uncertain, reputation needs an edit, because reputation is not built in moments of crisis alone. It's built in everyday decisions, consistent communication, and intentional presence. That is the reputation edit. You've been listening to The Edit, brought to you by Vogue Media Agency. To build, protect, and elevate your online reputation with clarity and intention, visit voguemedia.us. Until next time, edit what the public remembers.
Thanks for listening to The Edit with Vivian Cole, brought to you by Vogue Media Agency. Be sure to subscribe for more insights, share this episode with your network, and join us next week for another conversation on building brands with clarity, confidence, and impact. Visit voguemedia.us.
Vogue Media Agency offers comprehensive services to help small to medium-sized businesses, faith-based and nonprofit organizations, content creators, and entrepreneurs establish and grow their online presence. Focusing on website design, landing pages, social media management, podcast training, branding, weblog creation, and public relations, Vogue Media Agency provides a convenient one-stop solution for clients looking to elevate their digital footprint. What sets us apart is our personalized service and niche expertise. We are your marketing consultants. Contact us today.
To contact Vogue Media Agency, call 212-470-2730 or visit voguemedia.us.